Good morning. Okay, am I audible? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in last lecture, we have already started shift registers, right? So I will again repeat that shift register. So what is the shift register? First of all, tell me what is register? What is the use of register?
Register is nothing but one type of flip-flop that is used for storing the data.
Okay. So register is nothing but the array of flip-flop. Single flip-flop will store single bit data, right? But whenever there is a requirement of storing multi-bit data, at that time we can use shift registers. Sorry, not shift register, we can use registers. So register are nothing but the array of flip-flop. So if I want to store 3-bit data, I need 3 flip-flops. So the array of that 3 flip-flop is called as a register, right? And a shift register is nothing but a register which is used to shift the data, maybe at right side or left side. So suppose I want to store 4-bit data, so I need 4 flip-flops, right? Because one flip-flop will store 1 bit of data. So this is what 4 flip-flops. So here the basic flip-flop I am using, that is D flip-flop. So the input is D0, D1, D2 and D3, right? The common signal for this flip-flop is clock signal. So clock is applied to all flip-flops. This is what clock signal, right? One more signal is there, that is clear signal. Again, this is clear signal. It is applied to all flip-flops. So with the help of this clear signal, we can clear all the data whichever present at the last cycle of this or at the last in this flip-flops. So there are 4 types of shift register: serial in, serial out, serial in, serial out, right? Then parallel in, serial out, then parallel in, parallel out, and one more is there, that is parallel in, serial out, serial in, serial out.
Serial in, parallel out.
Right. Serial in, parallel out. So suppose, let us consider first case. So suppose we are going to design serial in, serial out. At that time, what that name suggests that the data which is applied to the flip-flop is in the form of serial. So this is my input, which is only applied to the first D flip-flop, right? And serial out means only one output is there, right? So what is the internal connections? So here I have to connect this Q0 to D0, D1, Q1 to D2, Q2 to D3. And last is what our final output. So this is what serial in, serial out. What about parallel in, parallel out? Again, consider. Suppose here I am taking only 3 flip-flops. Okay. So that clock signal is common to all flip-flop. Clear is also common to all flip-flop. Right? Now this is the case where we are applying the input in the form of serial form. So separate inputs are there, D0, D1, D2. So this is in parallel form. So it is parallel in, and for parallel out, we are just taking the output Q0, Q1 and Q2. Right? So according to the connections, the name is given to the resistors. If my data is entered in the serial form and it will taken out in this, it will taken in the form of parallel, then it is serial in, parallel out. If my data is entered in parallel form, then it is parallel in. Then separate data is taken out from this flip-flop, it is parallel out. The same way we can draw for next two also, right? So this is what the block diagram. Why this block diagram is necessary for us? Because with the help of this block diagram only, we come to know the truth table of this circuit, and with the help of that block diagram or truth table, we can write down the VHDL code for the circuit, right? So in last lecture already we have studied this serial in, serial out type shift resistor, and the VHDL code for this serial in, serial out shift resistor, right? So next one is the parallel in, parallel out. Now see this diagram and tell me what we can write in the architecture, what we supposed to write in the architecture. You can easily write down the entity for this circuit, right? This is parallel in, parallel out. It has 3 flip-flops, right? So in entity, what you are going to write down? You have to mention the ports. So it has total 2 input signal, that is clock and clear, right? As well as D0, D1, D2. These 5 are the input signals. And what about output signal? As it is parallel out, it is having 3 outputs, that is Q0, Q1, Q2. So in entity, you have to mention the input and output ports. This is what about entity. Sorry. So I think all of you able to write down the entity for any circuit, right? जर मी कुठलंही सर्किट तुम्हाला दिलं तर तुम्ही त्याचं एंटिटी लिहू शकता का इझिली? एंटिटी लिहिण्यामध्ये काही प्रॉब्लेम आहे का? एंटिटी मध्ये आपण काय करतो, फक्त एक्सटर्नल पिन्स बघतो. म्हणजेच आपण काय करतो, फक्त ब्लॉक कन्सिडर करतो, त्याला इनपुट्स किती आहेत, आउटपुट किती आहेत. तर आता याची एंटिटी सांगा मला. Yes, someone mute yourself, unmute yourself. Who will take initiative? How to write down the entity for this shift resistor, that is parallel in, parallel out? See, the block diagram is in front of you. You know all input pins and output pins. Be quick. First is entity, right? Then give the name for the circuit. It is parallel in, parallel out. So I am writing PIPO. So entity PIPO is. Now you have to mention the ports. So port in bracket, which are the input signals? First one is the clock and clear, right? It is which type of signal? It is input type of signals. So write down in, and as it is single bit, you can mention only std underscore logic, semicolon. Next is the main input signal, that is D0, D1, D2, right? So you can write down D0, D1, D2, or instead of that, you can write down only D. Again, it is input signal and it is a 3-bit signal. So here we have to write down std underscore logic underscore vector, yes, 2 down to 0. 2 down to 0 means it will consider D0, D1 and D2. So it will consider it as a 3-bit signal, right? This is what about input. Now what about, yes, this is the input port. Then what is output? Output is Q. Here again, 2 options are there. You can write down Q1, Q2, Q0, Q1, Q2 as output port and standard logic type signal, right? Or instead of Q0, Q1, Q2, you can write down only Q. Port is out. As it is multi-bit, you have to mention std underscore logic underscore vector. And same, it is also 3-bit. So you have to write down here 2 down to 0. Right? Bracket complete, semicolon, and entity. Yes, this is what about entity. Now tell me architecture. Just tell me architecture, how to write down the architecture for the same circuit. Are you getting or not? At least reply. समजतंय का तुम्हाला? जर नसेल समजत तर सांगा, मी परत एकदा एक्सप्लेन करते.
येस मॅम, परत एकदा करा.
एंटिटी परत एकदा एक्सप्लेन करू?
येस मॅम.
Okay. So here you consider only this circuit, which is the shift resistor, that is parallel in, parallel out. Here I am using D flip-flop as a storage device, right? And as I am using here 3 D flip-flops, that's why it is called as a resistor. Why? Because resistor is nothing but the array of flip-flop, right? So for every flip-flop, we know flip-flop is a sequential circuit. So the clock signal is must for every flip-flop, right? And one more signal, that is clear signal. Why this clear signal is required? Because as we know that the D flip-flop is a memory device which stores data. So whatever the data present in that D flip-flop, we can clear that data with the help of this clear signal. Okay. So as this is a parallel in, parallel out shift resistor, parallel in म्हणजे काय सांगतोय तो की माझं इनपुट पॅरलली द्यायचंय मला. पॅरलली म्हणजे काय, मी सेपरेट देणार. सो 3 डी फ्लिप फ्लॉप आहेत, तर 3 फ्लिप फ्लॉप साठी आपल्याला सेपरेट इनपुट्स द्यायचे आहेत. तर फर्स्ट डी साठी आपण D0 दिला, सेकंड D1, D2. जर तुम्ही सिरियल इन सिरियल आउट बघितलं तर आपण इथं काय केलं होतं, फर्स्ट डी फ्लिप फ्लॉपचं आउटपुट आपण सेकंडच्या इनपुटला कनेक्ट केलं होतं, कारण आपल्याला डेटा सिरियली पास करायचा आहे. सिरियली म्हणजे सपोज माझा डेटा 0, 1, 0 आहे, तर तो मी इथंच पास करणार 0, 1, 0. ऍज इट इज सिंगल बिट, तो पहिल्यांदा फर्स्ट 0 घेईल, नंतर मग 1 आणि नंतर परत मग 0. तर हा जो सिक्वेन्स आहे तो आपण सिरियली अप्लाय केलाय. तो 1 बाय 1 प्रत्येक क्लॉक सायकल साठी एक एक घेणार. राईट. तर इथे जेव्हा मला फायनल आउटपुट मिळायचं सपोज आता हा आपण 4 बिट डेटा दिला 0 1 0 1. सो हा 1 जो लास्ट बिट आहे तो मला आउटपुटला येण्यासाठी किती क्लॉक सायकल्स लागतील? फर्स्ट क्लॉक सायकलला फर्स्ट 0 एंटर करेल. सेकंड क्लॉक सायकलला हा 1 एंटर करेल. थर्ड क्लॉक सायकलला थर्ड 0 एंटर करेल. आणि फोर्थ क्लॉक सायकलला हा माझा लास्ट वाला 1 जो आहे तो एंटर करणार. राईट. सो हा लास्ट 1 डी फ्लिप फ्लॉप मध्ये एंटर करण्यासाठी मला किती क्लॉक सायकल्स लागतील? 4 क्लॉक सायकल्स. का? कारण त्याच्या अगोदर 3 बिट्स प्रेझेंट आहेत. हा झाला सिरियल इन साठी. पॅरलल इन साठी काय करतो आपण? हा मला 0 अप्लाय करायचं ना, मी डायरेक्ट इथे 0 अप्लाय करते, इथं 1 अप्लाय करते, इथं 0 अप्लाय करते. सो एकाच क्लॉक सायकल मध्ये माझे सगळे इनपुट्स एंटर करणार. का? कारण तो आपण पॅरलली दिलाय. येते लक्षात? आणि त्याच सेम क्लॉक सायकल मध्ये आपल्याला आउटपुट मिळणार. आणि डी फ्लिप फ्लॉपचं आउटपुट काय असतं? व्हॉट एव्हर द डेटा प्रेझेंट ऍट दिस इनपुट डी, सेम डेटा will appear at the output. Right? So what is the equation for D flip flop? Output equation Q is equals to D. If D is 0, then Q is equals to 0. If D is 1, then Q is equals to 1. This is what the output equation for our D flip flop. If you remember the VHDL code for D flip flop, then you come to understand that this program is very easy. So this is what the functioning of resistor, that is parallel in, parallel out. Now what we are doing here, we are going to write down the VHDL code for this shift resistor. Right? So here 3 D flip flops are there. It has 3 input, 3 output, which I have to mention here. So this is D, which is input signal. Right? It is multi-bit. So I am using std underscore logic underscore vector 2 down to 0. Same for output. Why? Because 3 flip flops having 3 inputs and 3 outputs. So same I have mentioned here in this entity, that is D and Q. Next is what? Clock and clear. These are the basic signals. This signal in every flip flop you got this signal clock and clear. It is also input type. As it is single bit, there is no need to mention vector. We are going to write only std underscore logic. This is what? Entity. Entity मध्ये फक्त आपण काय केलंय? इनपुट किती आहे? क्लॉक इनपुट आहे, क्लिअर इनपुट आहे आणि डी इनपुट आहे ते सांगितलंय. आउटपुट किती आहे? तर क्यू आउटपुट आहे. आता याच्यासाठी मला आर्किटेक्चर लिहायचं. तर आर्किटेक्चर मध्ये आपण काय करतो? जर आपल्याला आउटपुट इक्वेशन माहिती असेल, बुलियन एक्सप्रेशन जर आपल्याला माहिती असेल त्या सर्किटचं, तर ते बुलियन एक्सप्रेशन आपण ऍज इट इज आर्किटेक्चर मध्ये टाकतो. सिक्वेन्शियल मध्ये जेव्हा तुम्ही प्रोग्रामिंग लिहिता फॉर सिक्वेन्शियल सर्किट, वी ऑलवेज यूज प्रोसेस स्टेटमेंट. राईट? That process statement, what is the use of that process statement? After process statement, we mention sensitivity list in bracket. So what is that sensitivity list? These signals are sensitive, means that signals are continuously changing. So here, which one is the continuously changing signal? Only clock signal is changing. Why? Because clock is nothing but the pulse. Right? It is nothing but the pulse. 0 1 0 1 0 1 अशी पल्स असते, त्यालाच आपण क्लॉक म्हणतो ना. तो जेव्हा जेव्हा आपण आर्किटेक्चर लिहितो सिक्वेन्शियल सर्किट साठी, आपण ऑलवेज प्रोसेस स्टेटमेंट यूज करतो. आणि प्रोसेस स्टेटमेंट मध्ये आपण सेन्सिटिव्हिटी लिस्ट मध्ये काय मेन्शन करतो? क्लॉक. का? तर कंटिन्युअसली क्लॉक चेक करा. जर क्लॉक माझा 1 असेल तरच मला आउटपुट पाहिजे. क्लॉक जर 0 असेल तर मला आउटपुट नकोय. And whenever we are using clock, these two statements are must. First is the process and second one is the clock tick event. So see, this is the circuit here. For this circuit now, I'm going to write down the VHDL code, right? So here again, write down architecture. Okay, here architecture, give the name for the architecture. Suppose I have given the name, that is register of which entity? This PIPO entity. Of this PIPO is, right? After architecture, immediately you can write down begin. After begin, you have to mention the statement, that is the process. In process statement, here I am only writing clock signal. Okay, you can write down clock as well as clear. If you are going to mention clear signal in program, it is totally depends upon you. You can clear before using this circuit or you cannot clear. So process clock. Then again the begin of this process, right? Here architecture, the name of architecture of entity name is begin. As I am using clock signal, that's why I am processing that clock signal. So we have to use process statement, process clock. Then begin. After begin, we have to use statement if. Why? Because we are using clock signal. So here continuously we have to check. This process statement continuously check the status of clock. But my condition is that whenever the clock is equals to 1, at that time only that flip-flop will start working. So here I am writing if clock tick event, this is tick. So if clock tick event and clock is equals to 1, then this is what my condition. If you remember the syntax of if, then after if in bracket we have to mention the condition. So what is my condition? If clock tick event and clock is equals to 1, then now tell me what I supposed to write here in this box. In architecture, whenever we are going to write down the program for any circuit, we can mention the Boolean expression, or we can say the output equation of the circuit, right? So you know D flip-flop, you know the output equation of D flip-flop. Now tell me what I supposed to write down in this bracket or in this box. झालंय आता माझं इनपुट मी मेन्शन केलंय, आउटपुट काय ते मेन्शन केलेलं आहे, क्लॉक सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंगला टाकलाय आणि त्याला काय दिलंय मी इफ म्हणून त्यांना मी कंडिशन पण दिली की क्लॉक टिक इव्हेंट झाला. क्लॉक टिक इव्हेंट म्हणजे क्लॉक चेंज होतोय का, पोझिशन चेंज करतोय का. हा, चेक फॉर क्लॉक टिक इव्हेंट अँड इफ क्लॉक इज इक्वल्स टू 1 देन व्हॉट. तर मला काय पाहिजे, whatever the data present in this D flip-flop, same data will appear at the Q, right? So simple equation here, you have to write down only Q is assigned as D, semicolon, this A if. So for this if, you write down end if, right? For this process, you have to end this process, end process, and last one is the architecture. So end, the name of architecture is register. So this only one equation you have to put in your program. So this is nothing but the VHDL code for parallel in, parallel out shift register. किती सिंपल आहे. याच्यामध्ये काय केलं आपण, आउटपुट इक्वेशन चेक करतो. जर क्लॉक टिक इव्हेंट असेल आणि क्लॉक जर 1 असेल तर मला Q इज इक्वल्स टू D पाहिजे. आता Q तो कन्सिडर करताना काय करणार आहे, Q इज नथिंग बट 2 डाऊन टू 0. मीन्स याचं मीनिंग काय, या स्टेटमेंटचं मीनिंग काय होतं इथं, इट मीन्स दॅट Q2 इज इक्वल्स टू D2, Q1 is equals to T1 and Q0 is equals to D0. So if you check this sentence with your block diagram, then see here. Here you are getting Q0 as D0. Q1 is equals to D1 and Q2 is equals to D2. म्हणजे क्लॉक टिक इव्हेंट जर असेल आणि क्लॉक जर माझा 1 झाला तर त्यावेळेस काय करायचंय, whatever the data present in this D flip flop, shift that data to output. So you will get whatever the data present in this D0, you will get the same data at Q0. D1 same, it will as Q1, and for D2 the same data will pass to Q2, right? Is it simple or not? कळाला का प्रोग्राम? Yes.
येस मॅम.
काही डाऊट आहे याच्यामध्ये?
नो मॅम.
आता इथं शिफ्टिंग कसं होतंय की जो आपण इनपुटला देतोय तो आउटपुटला शिफ्ट होतोय, पण बिट्स शिफ्ट होत आहेत का? इथे शिफ्ट नाही होणार कारण आपण पॅरलल इन पॅरलल आउट म्हटलंय. त्यामुळे सेम टायमिंगला आपण इनपुट अप्लाय करतोय, एका क्लॉक सायकल मध्ये आपल्याला आउटपुट मिळतंय. पण सिरियल इन सिरियल आउट मध्ये तसं आहे का? नाही. जो आपला फायनल डी फ्लिप फ्लॉप आहे लास्ट वाला, त्याच्यात तुम्हाला फर्स्ट बिट कधी मिळेल? 4 क्लॉक सायकल नंतर. कारण हा जो तुमचा फर्स्ट हा जो इनपुट आहे माझा, हा जो फर्स्ट 0 आहे, हा फर्स्ट क्लॉक सायकलला हा 0 माझा इथं पोहोच, राईट. नेक्स्ट क्लॉक सायकलला तो इथं जाईल, नेक्स्टला इथं असेल आणि मग तो इथं जाऊन फायनली आपल्याला आउटपुटला मिळेल. सो आफ्टर 4 क्लॉक सायकल I will get this first 0, right? But in this case, that is in parallel out, whatever we apply data, same data will appear at the output in only one clock cycle, because this clock signal is applied to all flip flop. So जेव्हा मी clock signal apply करते, तो सेम सिग्नल सायमल्टेनियसली माझा तिन्ही फ्लिप फ्लॉपला जातोय. जो डेटा इथे प्रेझेंट आहे, सेम डेटा आपल्याला आउटपुटला मिळणार, राईट. दिस इज व्हॉट अवर शिफ्ट रजिस्टर. सो इन लास्ट लेक्चर वी हैव स्टडीड द प्रोग्राम ऑफ सीरियल इन सीरियल आउट शिफ्ट रजिस्टर. नाउ दिस इज व्हाट पैरेलल इन पैरेलल आउट शिफ्ट रजिस्टर. ओके. सो one more circuit is remaining actually from combinational circuit. It is array multiplier. So first of all, see what is the multiplier. What is multiplier? Yes, what is multiplier? What is adder? It is used for adding 2 inputs. That is half adder. For 3 input, we can use full adder. Like the same way, this multiplier is nothing but a circuit which is used to multiply data, right? So this multiplier is nothing but our arithmetical operator. Okay, it will just do the multiplication. This is a combinational circuit. So suppose this is my multiplier. Don't consider the circuit diagram. You just need to draw the block diagram only. So 2 inputs are there. Suppose this one is the A and B, right? And here I am getting output is equals to C. C is equals to A into B, right? So as it is 2 inputs, A and B, 4 possible combinations are there. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. This is what my C, that is output. Now 0 is multiplied with 0. Then answer is 0. Right? If 0 is multiplied with 1, the answer is again 0. If 1 is multiplied with 0, answer is 0. And when 1 is multiplied with 1, the answer is 1. So this is what my truth table. This is the simple multiplier. Like a AND operation. AND मध्ये काय होतं आपलं? 0 ANDed with 0 is 0. 0 1 1 0, right? So it will do the multiplication. So this is the block diagram. This is the truth table. So can you write down the VHDL code for this simple multiplier? First is what? Entity. So entity multiplier is. Next, port. Mention port here. Only two inputs are there. So A, comma B. Input signal. Which type of? It is std underscore logic. Semicolon. Output, that is C. Output type std underscore logic. Here I am considering these all are single bit. That's why I did not write here vector. I have written only std underscore logic. Right? And entity. This is what the entity of my multiplier. Right? Now next is architecture. So now tell me what I supposed to write down in the architecture. आर्किटेक्चर मध्ये काय लिहायचंय? कळत नाहीये का प्रोग्राम तुम्हाला? Yes, CR, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting this program or not?
Yes, ma'am. Getting.
Then why no one is replying? How I come to know? At least you should reply. Okay, so see here. Again here, architecture. Give the name for this architecture. Suppose it is multiplier of entity name is mul is, right? After architecture, write down begin. After begin only you have to put the final output equation. What is my equation? C. That is the output signal. Is assigned as A multiplied with B. Finished. End multiplier. Okay. So this is what the simple multiplier. As it is a single bit, as I consider both inputs are single bit, then it is easy because only two bits are there. So if A is 0, B is 0, then we will get C is equals to 0, right? If A is 0, B 1, then again C is 0. When both inputs are equals to 1, at that time only we will get output is equals to 1. So for single bit, we can use this program. But whenever there are more than 2 bits, at that time, we have to use array multiplier. Why we have to use array multiplier? And what is the need of array multiplier? Array means what? Register is nothing but the array of flip-flop. Means two or more flip-flops are connected together. That is nothing but the array. Here we are going to study array multipliers. The array of multipliers. This is what the single multiplier. Now here we need array multiplier because whenever the input signal is more than 2 bits. Okay. So suppose let's take one example. My input, first input, suppose this is A1, A0 and B1, B0. Okay. This is what my 2-bit input signal. So suppose here first signal is 1, 0 and second one is 1, 1. So this is what my A and B. In last program, we have considered only single bit input. Here input is 2-bit, right? In my A input, there are 2 bits, 1, 0. And in B, it is again 2, that is 1, 1. So if you calculate this value, is 0, 1 is nothing but 2, right? And this 1, 1 is nothing but it is 3. So whenever we multiply 2 into 3, we will get the result. It is nothing but 6, right? 3 into 2, 6. Here we are going to do binary multiplication. Then what is the method of multiplication and what is the method of binary multiplication? Same in arithmetical multiplication. Whatever the steps you have to follow, same steps you have to follow in this example. So let us consider this first one. This first A signal, right? This A is nothing but multiplicand. Right? And B is nothing but our multiplier. So this is the multiplicand, this is multiplier. And we have to multiply single bit from this multiplier to all bits present in the multiplier. So first consider this one. Okay. So 1 into 0, 0. And 1 into 1, it is 1. Then for next step, we have to make this empty. We have to make this position empty. Next, again, go to the multiplier. We have done with this multiplier bit. Now second multiplier bit, that is also again 1. So 1 into 0 is 0 and 1 into 1 is 1. After performing this multiplication, what is the last step? We have to add these things. Right? So 0, nothing is present here. So it will come as it is. So this is 0. 0 plus 1, it is 1. And this is again 1. So our answer is 1, 1, 0. See, in last bit, only 1 is present. There is no carry generated from the previous addition. That's why we have taken this 1 as it is. If the carry is generated here at the second position, then same carry we have to add. And after addition also, it will generate carry. So there is again an empty block I am writing here. Why? Because here there is no carry, so nothing is present. But if carry is generated, then some bit should be there. So as my inputs are 2-bit, the result of this multiplication, it is 4-bit. Are you getting this? Input is 2-bit. So 2 into 2. Here I am performing 2 into 2. 2-bit input multiplied with 2-bit input. So I am getting result that is 4-bit output, where 0, 1, 1 is present. As carry is not generated in this example, this block will empty. If there is a carry, then automatically some bit is present in this block. Right? So this is what the binary multiplication. And for performing this type of multiplication, we need array multiplier. So next task is how to design array multiplier. See, this is somewhat complicated circuit. जर तुम्हाला काही नाही कळालं तर तिथेच मला सांगा. मी परत एकदा रिपीट करते. ही मल्टिप्लिकेशन कळाली का कशी केली आहे? बायनरी मल्टिप्लिकेशन ऑलरेडी तुम्ही डिजिटल टेक्निक्स मध्ये शिकलेला आहात, राईट? So same way we have done here. Multiplication. First is multiplicand. This multiplicand is multiply with multiplier. And the resultant products of this multiplication is nothing but the partial products. These are the partial products. These products are called as a partial product. So these partial products are our output? No, it is not our output. It is the result of this multiplication. For final output, we have to add these bits, right? So for doing this type of multiplication, we need AND gates. Why? Because multiplication is present in this process. So for this multiplication, we need AND gate. Plus, we have to add these products, right? So for one more block is there, that is half adder or full adder, depends upon the input lines. We can choose half adder or full adder. So for designing array multiplier, we need AND gate and adder circuit. It may be half adder or full adder, right? So what is the first step of this multiplication? First is the partial product generation. So for this partial product generation, we need AND gate. Next step is partial product accumulation. Accumulation is nothing but this vertical part. Vertical part जो आहे आपण इथं आपण काय परफॉर्म करतोय? Addition करतोय. So for that purpose, after partial products, we need to add these products. Whatever the result we are getting of that multiplication, we are going to add. And last step is nothing but the final summation. So after addition, after performing the addition of these all bits, we will get our result. So if you calculate this first 0, next 1, 1. So 0, 1, 1, the value of this 0, 1, 1 is nothing but the 6, right? 2 and 4. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So here we are doing 2 into 3, then we will get the result that is 6. All are in the form of binary only. Yes, are you getting this? आलं का लक्षात?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see, as it is, as in this example, there is no carry. We will take one more example which has carry. Okay. So let's take 4-bit data 1, 1, 0, 1 multiplied with 1, 0, 0, 1. These are two inputs. Suppose A and B. In A, 4 bits are present 1, 1, 0, 1, and in B again 4 bits are there 1, 0, 0, 1. So here I am performing the multiplication of 4 bits. So 4 into 4 multiplication is there. This 4 is nothing but the bits. It is not the value of this signal. Okay. This 4 represent the bits. So what will be the result? How many digits are present in the output, if I am performing 4 into 4, 4-bit multiplication, then how many bits are present at the output? आउटपुट मध्ये किती बिट्स आले पाहिजेत आपल्याला? 4 बिटचे मल्टिप्लिकेशन करतोय, आपले दोन्ही सिग्नल 4 बिट्सचे आहेत. फर्स्ट एक्झाम्पल मध्ये आपण 2 बिट्स कन्सिडर केले होते. आउटपुट मध्ये आपल्याला काय किती बिट्स मिळाले? 4 बिट्स मिळाले. इथं काय करतो आपण? 4 बिटचे दोन्ही सिग्नल्स आहेत, तर आउटपुट मध्ये आपल्याला किती बिट्स मिळतील? 8 बिट. आता हे 8 बिट्स कसे मिळतात चेक करा. नाउ अगेन स्टार्ट हियर multiplication. First consider this one. Now this multiplier multiply with all multiplicand. So 1 into 1, it is 1. 1 into 0, 0. 1 into 1, 1. Again 1 into 1, 1. Now whenever we are considering next multiplier, keep this position blank. Now consider this 0. Okay, 0 into 1, 0. 0 into 0, 0. 0 into 1, 0. 0 into 1, 0. Now for third multiplier, again keep these two positions empty. Right? This is what our standard method of doing multiplication. So again it is 0. So 4 zeros were there. Now for last multiplier, keep 3 positions open. Then 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 0, 0. 1 into 1, 1. And 1 into 1, again it is 1. Right? So this is what my partial products. After multiplying multiplier with each multiplicand, I will get partial products. So how many partial products are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why we are getting 4? Because in multiplier, 4 bits are present. We have to do the multiplication of each multiplier bit with all multiplicands. That's why I am getting 4 partial products. So this is what the partial product. When we will get our final output after performing the summation. So here I have to do the addition. So 1 plus these all are considered 0. So it is 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 1 is, yes, 1 plus 1 is what? 1 plus 1 काय तो? In digital electronics, if I consider half adder, one input is 1, another one is also 1, then what will be the output? The sum is 0 with carry 1, right? 1 plus 1 is 0 with carry 1, right? Here all zeros are there, but there is a carry. So the final output is 1. 0 plus 1. Yes, 0 plus 1 is again 1. Again, I am getting simple 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This 7 is nothing but the output. But here in this example also, the carry is not generated. But if suppose this bit is 1, then 1 plus 1 is, again we are getting here 0 with carry 1. Then again 1 plus 1 is 0 with carry signal. So always carry signal is there. It may be 0 or 1. It depends upon the last signal. Here only 1 is there, so there will be no carry. Understood? So this 7-bit output plus 1 carry is nothing but this 8-bit is my final output. So after performing 4-bit multiplication, we will get 8-bit output. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is 11 o'clock. So in next lecture, we will see how to write down the code, VHDL code for this type of array multiplier. Wait for a moment. Okay. I think your training will be there, na? I will take a screenshot of your attendance. Okay, now you can leave the meeting. Go and join the training. I will take extra lecture from 4 to 5. Okay. If that slot is empty for your division, then I will take extra lecture for today only. Okay.